Hey, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus Raw. This was from January 11th, 2021. We take a brief look at the Hall of Famers and Legends. Jeez, it was terrible. But we're back at the Thunderdome at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Tom Phillips welcomes us. He's with Samoa Joe and Byron Saxton, still my favorite overall announcing team, commentary team for WWE at least. Triple H comes out, big pop, big things. A great way to enter the show, of course, to start the show, that is. Triple H explains that Drew McIntyre can't be there. They're not happy about that. Orton comes to the ring. He's supposed to apparently get a non-title match with Drew McIntyre. Strange. Triple H and Orton talk about the Royal Rumble match. Or is he going to give Orton the WWE title? Triple H says if Orton wants the title, he's got to win the Rumble. On and on and on. Triple H is mad at Orton. So he wants to go toe to toe. And gets Triple H to punch him. So apparently they're going to have a fight. All right. Well, officially not yet in the show, but they're going to. They take a look at what happened between Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair. This is Damage Control time. Lacey Evans talks a bit and says, Charlotte goes on about Evans being classless. Evans says, he wanted me to flirt with him. It's nonsense. So we're using the show to set up the other part of the show, Charlotte Flair against Lacey Evans. Long story short, Rick turns on the daughter and makes sure that Lacey Evans wins. Okay. So we're going to get Elias versus Jeff Hardy. We go to commercial again. They talk to Lacey Evans and Ric Flair in the back. We show the match between Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre. We show clips from that. He's in the back with Lee, talking to Sheamus. Miz and Morrison get involved, so we're going to have Lee and Sheamus against Miz and Morrison. Again, using half of the show to set up the other half of the show. Fundamental weakness. Jeff Hardy against Jackson Ryker. Jackson manages to cheat and win. So basically, Jeff Hardy goads Elias into taking a match as well. Jeff Hardy, one of these guys who's going to pull double duty, I suppose, to make up for Drew McIntyre and others perhaps not being there. Hardy manages to win this match against Elias, sort of setting up a potential schism of Ryker and Elias. Oh, that I will give that. That is different and interesting. We're going to have Sheamus and Keith Lee against Miz and John Morrison. Back to commercial. We see the challenge from Randy Orton to Triple H from earlier. Now we have the tag match, Sheamus and Lee against Morrison and Miz. Morrison and Miz, of course, lose because that's what they do. Sheamus and Keith Lee celebrate. Now we got Sarah Schreiber with Triple H, says he'll accept the challenge. Half of the show to set up the other half of the show. Now we're going to get Sheamus and Keith Lee. Now they're arguing, so they wrestle each other, and Keith Lee wins again. We see that clip of Goldberg challenging McIntyre. They're doing their best to make the thing make sense, even though it makes no sense. We're going to hear from McIntyre later tonight. McIntyre promo. He acknowledges COVID-19. 9 months later, WWE acknowledges it directly. And then Drew moves on to Goldberg. Yes, he accepts the challenge. Goldberg is next. Riddle's backstage with Lucha House Party. They're ranting about tonight's match with Bobby Lashley. Riddle with more stoner comedy. Xavier Woods against T-Bar. I would say it doesn't look good for Xavier Woods, and sure enough, it does not. Lots of interference and stuff. T-Bar wins. Schreiber's there with Randy Orton. Triple H has accepted the challenge. Now he says he's able to direct his hate towards Triple H. Bobby Lashley is going to defend against Riddle. Back to commercial. This is the new pattern of Raw where they tell you what's going to happen next. And then they don't quite get to it after commercial break. They sort of sandwich something else in. I'm not sure how I like it, but I like it better than just showing somebody walking backstage, for sure. Riddle and Bobby Lashley happens. Boy, I mean, Lashley just kind of beats him quickly in sort of a squash. And they leave him laying, and that's that. Back from the break, we still got Triple H and Randy Orton, which they promoted like crazy. I guess they're trying to see if Triple H can draw people to that third hour, is what it is. MVP against Riddle. Riddle also doing double duty, apparently. At the end, Riddle is speared by Bobby Lashley, so he wins by DQ. And they beat him down. Riddle has no friends. That's what I've learned. They show us highlights from SmackDown, showing how Adam Pearce became the #1 contender to Roman Reigns. Pearce is backstage with AJ Styles. AJ sort of makes us wonder, with almost at ringside, who can toss him out and that kind of thing. Talky, talky, talk. Pearce tells Gulak basically he can have a Rumble spot if he can beat AJ. Okay, at least it's a reason for a match. AJ Styles wins, as he should. We get a special look at Goldberg coming up after the commercial. Yay. They show the dominance of Goldberg, and they hype the match with McIntyre and Goldberg on the 31st at the Royal Rumble. Triple H is warming up. Backstage, Keith Lee approaches, says he needs to talk to him. Lee wants to warn Triple H how dangerous Randy Orton is. This is... What? Wouldn't Triple H know that? I would guess he does. Lee hands Triple H his leather jacket, which is a really sweet moment. It reminds me of Grease, and now he can go drag race. Fucking weird. I get what they're trying to do, but it's just... All right. We got Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. They didn't really promote this match beforehand, and you can see why. It's a foregone conclusion. What? Yeah, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler win easily. Jax keeps looking at Baszler's like something's bothering her, though. Ooh, drama. We see Randy Orton backstage walking. They can't resist doing it at least once, can they? Back to commercial. We come out, they're going to have a fight. Fighting, fighting, fighting. Triple H, long story short, raises a sledgehammer and it's on fire. They're both shocked. Lights are down. They come back up. Triple H is gone. The little blood on the side of Orton's face is gone. What? Some kind of musical remix of the Firefly Funhouse theme, and Alexa Bliss is there. Alexa Bliss does their little hand on the face thing, but she looks mad, and then she shoots a fireball at his face. And that's the end. Oh, boy. There's hints of good stuff happening on this show, but for the most part, it's fucking pretty forgettable and pretty bad. Is that something that is going to correct itself? Now, WWE has always counted on the Royal Rumble to sort of set things into motion and improve the programming. Is that something that they're relying on too much? We'll just have to wait and see. And right now, Miz having that Money in the Bank case, has it ever mattered less? They're in danger of devaluing all of these things, and now we even have Triple H involved in a thing, fighting in the ring, and it's just to try to spark a third hour. Man, oh man. And now it may very well do that, especially because the national championship game was a blowout from the first half. So we'll see what happens, but this is not a show. I mean, they had to adapt to a couple of things happening, of course, and it was maybe a blessing in disguise not having Drew McIntyre have to wrestle on this show. They were forced to be creative, and I gotta say, when they were forced to be creative, it was much better than the stuff that they had planned already. So we'll see. There's signs of life, but the fact that we're discussing Raw in this way is very telling. Anyway, this has been Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus Raw. Fire!